time you boys see a burnout from this car, it's gonna be a little more ridiculous. But one last one for the boys. So last time I tried to do a burnout on this thing, the traction control button wouldn't turn anything off and it was unplugged. So now we should be able to do a fatty. E-brake on? Might as well.
Holy shit!
That was good. That guy liked it. That was way better than the Evo burnout.
Dude, that was...
E-brake on, the letter send. You wanna try?
Do I wanna try?
See if Jared can break the Type R before she goes in for her transplant.
Still kicked off.
Let me try again. Cars just don't like you, bro.
That's so weird.
I ain't got no tire left.
One day I'll learn how to do a Bernie.
While the Type R cools off, let's talk about what the heck we are about to try and attempt with the black Type R. I am going to be building the world's first, as far as I know, but please correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below, the world's first actual true all-wheel drive FK8 Civic Type R. These cars, of course, are front-wheel drive from the factory, as you guys can see from the gnarly burnouts that we just did. Front-wheel drive from the factory. There's a company that makes some sort of like electric kit that you can put on the rear wheels to make it all-wheel drive, but it's not a true all-wheel drive in my opinion. It's kind of whack, kind of bunk, if you ask me. We are going to be tearing this thing down. I'm not going to be using the original motor out of this car, the original transmission. Of course, we're going to need a transfer case. There's a ton of issues to overcome with this build, but I'm very, very excited to announce to you guys that we're finally moving forward with this project. It's been in the works for a while. I've been thinking about it for a while, and it's finally time. So today, I need to pull the motor out, I need to pull the transmission out, and we need to somehow wrap our brains around how we're gonna put an all-wheel drive system in the FK8 Type R. Drop a comment down below, leave a thumbs up if you're excited for this build. I know I'm damn excited. I've never taken on a project of this caliber before. There's gonna be a lot of fab work included. There's gonna be a lot of random wiring and standalone stuff that's included with this project. And I'm a little nervous, but I think with the help of you guys and with the help of some nice local fellas here in Spokane, we should be able to pull this off, and especially along with the help of a few very, very important sponsors, which you guys will see as we progress through this build. All right, just a heads up before we get cracking on this thing, we are still doing the Raise Gramlet giveaway. Every $5 you spend on Boston gets you entered. This whole front end is gonna get stripped down. I may pop the fenders off as well because I don't wanna scratch anything. It's got a fresh paint job from when we rebuilt this car. So bumper's coming off, fenders probably are gonna come off, and engine and trans is gonna get pulled out. I don't know how far we're gonna get today, but I'm very excited for this project. I could not be more excited for this project. It's gonna be insane. So every bolt or clip or whatever I'm pulling off, I'm gonna throw in this little baggie and zip tie it to the part. I've been feeling this thing's gonna be down for a while. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fab work with motor mounts and differential stuff and rear diff stuff. So I don't wanna lose any of the hardware. For example, these are all the clips for this little cowl right here, which we may or may not reuse, but if we do, I want to have the clips for it. Toss them in a little bag and just zip tie her up like that. So the way I see this, we have like, what, 4 total steps? 4 big steps in this process. I guess step number 1, what the hell, is getting the wheel off. Come on, baby. What the hell? Why is this so stuck on? Kick it really hard. Jesus. Been skipping leg day or what? Good Lord. Where's the BFH? It's a little sus. Anyways, a couple big steps in this process. We have fitting the motor, being that we're not using this motor, we have a different motor to put in. So we have motor mounts and trans mounts. We have clearance for the diff and drive line, which includes a different steering rack, which probably also includes a different front subframe. And then one of the things I'm most concerned with is all the rear stuff. So we have the rear diff, rear axles, rear hubs and spindles and all that good stuff. And then last but not least, of course, we have the standalone. We have the wiring with the ECU. This car is CAN BUS, so somehow trying to get everything to integrate properly via CAN BUS so we can have some interior controls, HVAC, and all that good stuff, I believe, is all ran through CAN BUS. So we're gonna have to get all that sorted as well. So we have a long road ahead of us, but with enough patience and work, I think we can pull it off. All right, let's pop the fluids out of this thing. Engine oil and trans for now. We can do some brake stuff and whatnot later. Hopefully I don't miss. Solid. Do a little light check on the oil. Beautiful. Broke my oil filter wrench, so this is the next best thing. Honestly, it's a little bit easier. So as the coolant is draining out of this thing, let's go ahead and pull the whole entire front end off. So the bumper beam, intercooler radiator, headlights, and then the core support can come off as well. Pretty much the whole front end, the whole front clip is gonna come off and give us all the access in the world to play around and fit up a new motor in this thing. The air box is gonna have to come off. If anyone needs an MAP air box, MAP downpipe, MAP front pipe or overpipe thing, MAP cat back, I might use the cat back, but I have a ton of MAP parts. If anyone needs any of this stuff, of course we're not gonna use it for this build anymore, so hit me up on Instagram, please. Won't be needing this little guy. And if you can remember, when we went to swap this car on the dyno, we had a little boost leak. So she had some JB Weld on her. Front clip is off, so here's our parts pile so far. I love how the whole clip comes off in one piece on these cars. Headlights, inner fenders, clip, bumper, and bumper beam. Before we move much further forward, I do need to disconnect or unlock, unmarry, I guess it'd be called, the Flash Pro from the ECU. And I don't think we can do that, obviously, with the ECU and the battery and electronics out of the car. So I will have a Honda Flash Pro available for sale as well, because we're not gonna be needing that. In order to unmarry that, I do need to borrow Josh Vader's, the tuner's laptop, to get it unmarried, because obviously we can't drive the car out there. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling off some suspension components, the brakes. The whole front end is getting gutted, so all that stuff's gotta come off anyway. I really want to be able to use the Type R brakes, but we'd have to get custom rotors made, because I think this car is going to go to 114 instead of 120 lug pattern. We'll see though. Those are minor details. We can figure that out as we go. As you can see, we put the car pretty much all the way back together. Josh came over, we were trying to get the Flash Pro unlocked from the ECU, and it kept giving us error codes saying it would not recognize the VIN, which is a little insane. So I gave up on that, and we are just gonna go ahead and tear this thing all the way back apart. So let's get the clip back off, get everything unplugged, and get the engine and trans and subframe dropped out of this thing. All right, up in the air one last time. We have some exhaust stuff, and then some subframe hardware, and then we can drop the motor mounts and get the drivetrain chilling on the floor. And I'll probably call that a wrap there. So let's see what we can get done. I'm gonna leave a few of these subframe bolts in just a little bit, because I don't want her to fall on my face. Even though I don't think it would with the motor mounts on, but I like to be safe. All right, she's definitely loose. I think I just got some wiring for the power steering. She's ready to come out. So I'm just gonna set some jack stands underneath the subframe, lower the car down onto them, pull out the remaining subframe bolts, pull off the motor mounts, lift the car up, and we should be done. Well, boys, say goodbye to the K20. The last time you're ever gonna see it in this car. There's always at least one thing I forget when pulling a motor out. This time it was a slave. Easy fix though. All right, we should be good. Well, we got her out. The only thing we may need from the setup is the power steering rack and the subframe and maybe control arms. Not exactly sure what we're gonna be doing there, but of course we don't need the motor and we don't need the trans. So we can go ahead and get that stuff pulled off, get it all separated and get it gone out of the shop and make space and funds for the new setup. All right, so I created a couple different piles. This pile over here is the parts that we don't need: engine, exhaust, wiring harness, turbo, trans, intake. This is stuff we do need: the front clip, parts we might need, and more parts we might need, more parts we might need, and we need this. Drop a comment below, let me know what you guys think. I'm very, very curious to see what you guys think of what we got going on these days. I'm very, very excited for this project. It's been on the back of my mind for a very long time, and we're finally to a point where I can take on a massive project like this. So drop a comment below, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my good homies, and I'll see you tomorrow.